Welcome everybody to the Drop to a Hole podcast, the official first episode. We did record I think it was a 2 hour and 50-minute recording the first time we did this. Had some issues with audio and stuff like that, but it was a good test run. Now we're officially here. I'm one of your four hosts of this podcast, Darrell Dunham.
Your four horsemen.
You're one of your four horsemen, as the logo will suggest. And then I'll let the other three dudes introduce themselves here.
No, you can introduce me. I don't want to do it.
No, you can do it.
I really hate that part. No, I hate that part.
Okay.
There you go. He said my name.
Tell the people who you are, and you're gonna like it.
So the first one.
Darrell already said it.
The first one here, Anthony. All of us have done a podcast before, by the way. A podcast called Beards and Balls. Did all four of us ever do an episode together, or was it just like?
Yes.
Yeah. All four of us did do at least one episode together, but most of the time it would either be Anthony, Chris, and Cheese, or me, Cheese, and Anthony. I don't think I ever did an episode with Chris where it was a 3-man combo before, but this is the first time that all four of us are going to be doing a podcast consistently. But we've all podcasted together in some way, shape, or form. We've all known each other for a while, so I'll let Chris and Cheese introduce themselves if they want to.
Hi, I'm Chris. I'm over here. I don't know where I am oriented on the video portion of this. I don't know if Darrell's getting a different feed than me.
You're in the top right.
If I point this way, I'm pointing to Anthony. If I point that way, it's to Cheese, and that way it's to Darrell. That's your orientation.
Happens this way.
You do have me to blame for this week's subject matter because we were waffling between two choices, and I hardline was like, "This is the one that I thought we were doing, and we're doing it."
Yeah, so, Chris had no connection to a Rumble match.
Blame me.
A non-Rumble Rumble match.
And I hand the reins to Cheeseman.
And I take the reins and I smack you across the face with them and challenge you to a match. Yes, that is what I do. Yes, it is me, Patrick Cheeseman. I am sitting currently down. I'm in the bottom left, the quarter 3. For all of you people that did the graph paper and had to have the 4 quadrants, I am in quadrant 3. I'm in the loser quadrant. You don't want to be in this quadrant. That means you suck.
Is that negative?
That's the minus quadrant.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Apropos of everything that's happening. So yes, I will sit in the loser corner this time, but I will be out of it as I slap Chris across the reins, a face with the reins. So that way, then we will challenge for this spot, so I can get the prime spot.
So is the top right, the positive corner, the champion of the podcast?
Yes.
Well, then right now, Chris.
That is correct.
Yeah. Chris, you are the champion of the podcast.
Well, I'm not doing too great because I'm leading us directly into failure with this week's episode. Do we want to go ahead and reveal what we're talking about?
I don't think it's failure.
I don't think it was a total failure. There were definitely some bad parts about the show, but the show we're doing this week,
real crap.
Yeah.
Some absolute.
My last note I wrote of this whole show was, "This was a terrible idea."
And I think it being a terrible idea makes it a great idea for us.
And that terrible idea is WCW World War 3 in 1996.
Yeah, in 95, 96, and 97. Yeah, but we are reviewing 96 this episode. Doing it from somewhere in Virginia. They said the city. I don't remember right now. Yeah, that's it. Norfolk. Yeah, Norfolk,
Virginia, which is where they did the last World War 3, because we also watched 1995's.
There has to be something about that arena.
Worse.
Oh yeah, it was way worse. Believe it or not, it must be something about that arena where they can fit the 3 rings in there or something like that. But they did it from Norfolk, Virginia. Again, commentary team for this show was Heenan, Shivani, and Dusty. Throughout the show, I did make a note of this. To me, this is one of my favorite commentary teams of all time because all 3 of them throughout the show were just being ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love the chemistry that they had during the show. And it made some parts of the show that I did not enjoy a lot more enjoyable, just hearing them riffing the whole time when I'm not even going to lie, I wasn't even watching the screen for some of these matches. Or some of these segments, if you will. But the first match of the show Great opening match. Rey Mysterio Jr. versus Ultimo Dragon, whatever you want to call him, for the J Crown Championship. Ultimate Dragon had Sonny Ono as his manager. First of all, the attires on both of these dudes. First of all, I love the Spider-Man Rey Mysterio mask, the attire that he had going on. But Ultimo Dragon, that pink was loud. It's the first thing I see. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, man. It's like in what we used to watch the pay-per-view was like on old VHS footage, like straight ripped from the VHS of the show. So it just stands out in the 360p quality of the show. Like just it stands out a lot. But like I said, this match was for the J Crown Championship. This was when Ultimate Dragon had like, I think it was like what, 9 belts that he had at the time.
It was the belt collector gimmick.
Yeah, the belt collector gimmick.
Where you get that famous picture. He's like a lot of the impetus for some of the belt collectors gimmicks we've seen in the past. Like Kenny Omega drew a lot from him. Mercedes Moné right now is drawing a lot from him. And like you were saying, he came out in the neon on neon on neon, neon pink, neon green, neon yellow, and it looked amazing.
He was never going to get lost that night if he wandered around in traffic or in the Virginia wilderness. They just kind of
cheese in the middle of the World War III match when you know of everything that was going on. He still stood out like a sore thumb. Both of these men would end up in the World War III match later on, but we'll get to that.
Like everybody on the card, basically, except for like Nick Patrick.
Jesus Christ!
But
we'll get to that.
also,
Nick Patrick.
Jimmy Hart is doing most of the music at this time, I believe.
Talking about Rey Mysterio's music and how it does not fit Rey Mysterio at all.
Does not fit him at all. But Ultimo Dragons, he hit a home run. That theme was legit.
Boom, 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 boom.
But notes about this match. First of all, the crowd starts off hot for Rey. At this point, Rey was very, very over with the WCW crowd. The Cruiserweight division in general was very over with the WCW crowd. The match starts off, they're doing good limb work to start off the match. They're going back and forth. And Dusty was doing a great job of selling this match as well. Oh, yeah. Well,
yes, very much so.
After the limb work, they get in a little exchange. They start hitting the ropes. They were reversing each other's stuff, doing a couple of flips, doing the whole flippy spot thing that you see now so much.
And this is the spot where I've got my first Dusty Rhodes comment of the match, where I've got him quoted saying, "Kick him in the belly welly."
I wrote that down too.
Dusty has a couple of lines during this show that just had me rolling throughout the show. But after they're back and forth early in the match, Ultimate Dragon just starts wailing on Rey. He's hitting Rey with every single move in his arsenal. At one point, Dragon hit a nasty triangle drop kick to the outside. Then Dragon hits a huge German suplex in the ring on Rey. And one note that I had about this match in particular, and it's something that I love from the Cruiserweight division, is when they would do like the Rey, specifically Rey, because he was the smallest guy on the roster, working with a lot of the bigger cruiserweights, that dynamic that they had where they would hit their power moves on Rey and stuff like that. I always loved that.
Splat them.
Yeah, like you could do whatever you wanted to do. I mean, even to this day with Rey, and Rey's a great seller, so it always worked. At some point, Ultimate Dragon hits a nasty torture rack backbreaker on Rey.
Yeah, that was sick. I wrote down immediately plus a quarter star for that move alone. That spinning torture rack bomb was insane.
Yeah. Then Rey gets hit with the Fisherman Buster from Ultimate. Actually, no, I forgot. Ultimate Dragon hits Rey with the power bomb, and then he guillotines him into the ropes, which was a great spot. Hits him with a stun gun into the ropes, which was a great spot. Dragon hits a big swing on Rey Mysterio, and the first person I thought about was Claudio when he hit the swing on Rey. Then he hits Rey with the Fisherman Buster into a Brain Buster. Rey's kicking out of two at everything. I'm like, I know Ultimate Dragon has finished people off with some of these moves in matches. Why in the hell is Rey kicking out of everything? But it did make for a great dynamic in the match. Then Ultimo Dragon hits Rey with the jumping tombstone. He ends up on the outside. And then he hits Rey with the tombstone on the outside. Yet again, he gets Rey in the ring. And then I think
You're stealing my spot.
oh, that was it. He hits Ray with the tombstone, and then he does a splash to Ray on the outside, gets Ray back in the ring, hits him with a running power bomb. Ray kicks out at 2 again. Then Ray gets on top. He hits a double springboard moonsault on the inside. Then he hits I guess you would call it a West Coast pop or Dragon Rana to Dragon on the inside. Ray does a cartwheel into a Hurricane Rana during the match. Then we wind down to the end of the match. Dragon hits a nasty Dragon suplex on Ray at some point. Ray gets back on top. Ray looked like he's getting ready to do that senton or a West Coast pop. I don't know what he was really going for, but Ultimate Dragon's able to reverse it. Hits him into a sit-out powerbomb. 1, 2, 3. Ultimate Dragon gets the win. They get a good 14, 15 minutes here. A great sprint to start the show. For me, I gave this match a 7.5 out of 10. I do wish that Ray would have got a little bit more offense in because Ultimate Dragon was beating his ass.
Like you were saying, you said that a lot. Like most of my notes starts with Dragon hits Ray with a blank, and it's just like the coolest move you can think of.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dragon has like the best move set of anybody I've seen ever. Like so many of those like PWG indie guys from like the mid like 20 teens, they just ripped his move set because he's just hitting these crazy like tombstones out of nowhere. He absolutely flattens Ray and himself with a what is it, like a dive to the outside over the top rope. He hits the Houston Hangover off of a springboard. Like he is like going crazy this entire match. Both of them really, because towards the end Ray started picking up, as you were saying. It's like the perfect match to open at this point in Ray's career. Like he's, I'm pretty sure, doing mostly opens at every pay-per-view. Like if he's not the open, he's having the best match of the night. And yeah, this was incredible. I I wrote at one point, then Ray sunset flips into the ring, does a cartwheel somersault into a Rana pin where he flips up, jumps up, is face backwards for a poison Rana, flips over and rolls up Ultimo Dragon for a 2 count, and I just write, I am screaming. I gave it 4.5 stars, but then it gets that 1/4 star bump for that torture rack spot. Man, nobody, like, no move was more over in WCW than the rack at this point. Like, we'll see that later in the night too. But in all, it gets 4 3/4 from me.
Okay. Anthony,
4.5 stem cell dips.
Jeez.
And I gave it a B minus. Pretty much all the things you said, but yeah, just at first I had written this is the match of the night. Then halfway through I crossed that out because it was literally just Ultimo just beating up Ray, and I'm just like, all right, now he's gonna do no, and now he's gonna, and now oh my God, do something, Mysterio, for the love of God, do something. Then he finally did, and the match was over, and I was just like, okay, well, whatever.
She's really earning that negative spot over there in the bottom left corner.
Yeah, I am.
But no, I definitely understand. That's why I didn't have it higher. I on the upper end, I would have gave it an 8 if Ray had like an extra minute of offense in the match. But Ultimate Dragon was like he was one of the biggest names in pro wrestling at that time. I understand why they booked the match the way they did. Ray, who at the time was still, I guess you could consider him an upstart in the cruiserweight division, if you will. So I get what they did. I think the match helped to get Ray over a little bit more as well, because it was a great match. The crowd was into it the whole time. But yeah, I'll stick with my 7.5 rating there. And then after that match, we get a Mean Gene segment with DDP, where Mean Gene asked DDP about the NWO and whether he was joining the NWO or not, and what was his opinions on whatever was going on with the NWO at that time. As of this pay-per-view, I think the NWO had formed 3 to 4 months before this pay-per-view, because this was right before Starrcade 96. So the NWO was a big through line in this show, and I really didn't have a problem with it, with the way the commentators were talking about it and the way it was being presented, up until a couple of segments after this promo. Where
Oh,
I'm
when
like,
Roddy Piper
all right,
decided to just be a fucking homophobe. Let's just say it. Who the fuck
we'll get
cares?
to it in a second.
I'm sorry.
We'll get to it in a second.
Ugh.
So after that promo from DDP, which to me wasn't even really a good DDP promo, he was kind of stumbling through the promo. It was whatever. We get probably the most useless match on this card. We get Chris Jericho versus Nick Patrick in a one arm tied behind the back match. So
Just
this
for
match
Jericho.
comes about, yes, just for Jericho. This match comes about because Teddy Long and Nick Patrick didn't like each other. Of course, Nick Patrick was the NWO referee. And so Teddy Long gets on the microphone and says, hey, I bet Chris Jericho could beat you with one hand tied behind his back. And Jericho was like, yeah, I could do that. And so the match happens. Which, of course,
I don't know.
'cause
I don't know if it
Patrick-
was just because it was in 360p, but the
Mhm.
man who came out with him that they were claiming was Teddy Long. That did not look like Teddy
Yeah,
Long
Yeah,
at
I
all.
was like, is that the same Teddy Long?
'cause I think
Oh, exactly.
his head was a lot bigger. It just
His fat
looked
head.
weird.
His body was a lot bigger.
Yeah, but no, it was Teddy. It was Teddy. If you heard him talking, it was definitely Teddy.
Mhm.
Because you hear him doing this thing, on the microphone or whatever. But I really didn't take too many notes about this match, to be honest with you. Nick Patrick did a decent job of selling during the
Hey,
match.
Powers, don't tell me that's
Um,
not Danny McBride.
But
It looked
I said he
exactly
looked like
like
something.
that
Who I say
crap.
he looked like? He looks like a
Danny
bootleg
McBride.
Chono. That's what he looks like in this match. That's what he looked like to me. But the commentators are doing a great job during this match talking about Nick Patrick and him being in the NWO and stuff like that, or being paid off by the NWO. But I just wasn't too into this match. And the match went on way too long. Jericho was selling for Nick Patrick way too much. Jericho ends up getting the upper hand at the end of the match and hits him with a super kick. Ends up winning 1, 2, 3. For me, I gave this a 1 out of 10. To me, it is the worst Jericho match I've ever seen, and I've seen late
Terrible.
AEW career Chris Jericho. But nah, this was a waste of time, in my opinion. Don't really know why I was on the show. I wasn't going back to watch the Nitro before this to figure out why this was on the show. It is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, like I wrote 3 separate times something along the lines of, please end this match. Why is this match still going? Can we please wrap this up? Like the only thing that I could maybe say that I enjoyed about this was anytime Nick Patrick was on defense and Jericho was hitting him, it was like a nuke was going off. Like the dude could not take anything, which made sense. But yeah, this went on way too long.
I didn't rate this match.
I gave it -1 arms out of all the arms. Like it should not have been here.
Cheese, any opinions on this match?
They both had great hair.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Yeah.
I found something positive to say.
You know what? And as a matter of fact, Cheese, we can just leave it at that and move on to the next thing. So we get a Ric Flair. Promo.
Hey, real quick.
What's
We're
up?
going through this too fast without mentioning Mean Gene's trek through cyberspace.
I was hoping somebody would bring that up.
Oh, well, of
think I
course.
missed
Why
that.
wouldn't I bring it up? I feel like I have too many ridiculous things that have not been brought up yet. Okay, just like what the fuck is Dusty wearing? What is
Oh, the
Dusty
red
wearing?
jacket. Hey, man, he
Red
got that shit
jacket.
on, man. Come on with the
He
red
got the
jacket.
biker gang in the Fast and
He's got the
Furious
red
universe?
leather.
Yeah, I did enjoy how it
that's-
kept cutting back to our commentators, so you get to see what they were up to and what they were thinking about it. That one point that Anthony was mentioning, right before the DDP promo, Mean Gene is what's the word I'm looking for? Advertising for the new WCW Wrestling.com.
Yep.
Oh,
The new
yeah.
website that's just coming out.
Mhm.
And
You
they
can
have
get
the
on with
most
Mark Madden.
They have the most MS
Ugh.
Paint looking graphic with Jim Duggan standing there with the 2x4. And it brought me so much joy to look at that. I'm like, this was to a national audience. This was on like TBS
Yes.
or TNT, whatever channel they were running on at the time.
Mhm.
And that was the peak of 1996 graphic design, and it just tickled me endlessly.
I think one of my favorite part about them talking about the hotline and the website was them putting the wrestlers to work an hour before, an hour and a half before they had that big rumble where I'm pretty sure they had to go over spots and people had to be told where to go and stuff like that. And I'm seeing Marcus, aka Buff Bagwell, in the back with a headset on, talking to people on call about the show and reviewing the show and stuff like that. I thought that was great. That made me chuckle.
And it's hilarious to think that Buff definitely probably said something to the lines of he worked twice that night because he was on the phones and then in the match, whereas Rey Mysterio's out here getting dog walked by Ultimo Dragon for 15 minutes and has to go back out there.
Customer service is hard, man.
You're not kidding.
Ric Flair, I think they promoted the website again after the Jericho Nick Patrick match. Then we get into a Mean Gene Ric Flair segment, and Ric Flair is
there's a whole lot of nothing
during this promo. He says a whole lot of nothing, but it's great. Comes out there in the sling. He had an arm injury going into the show, so he wasn't going to be in World War III. I'm pretty sure he was very fucking happy about that because I wouldn't have wanted to be in that match either. But they mentioned how many times he's won the WCW World Heavyweight Championship, which I think at this time was 13 times he'd been a world champion.
Correct.
And Flair, like she said, he wasn't really saying anything. He was just playing to the crowd, being a face, doing a hokey thing.
Doing his little strut, doing the whole Ric Flair thing.
And then at some point he hits the strut when he walks back, tells Mean Gene to hold on, and he hits the strut, and the crowd goes crazy. I love that stuff. And
it's great.
I think I wrote a note about that part of that promo with Ric Flair. To me, there has never been a wrestler, other than Warrior, that lived his gimmick more than Ric Flair. Like that man lived being the Nature Boy, and I think that made his gimmick so much better, and why he was so over for so long.
Sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. But it was a great promo. It was surely better than the next match we would get, which would be between two of my favorite wrestlers of all time. The Giant, Paul White, Big Show, whatever you want to call him, Captain Insano versus Jeff Jarrett. And it's not even like the Jeff Jarrett version of Jeff Jarrett I like to laugh about.
My baby tonight, Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, the whole what do you call it? Broadway, Nashville.
Darrell took time to go ahead and rank all of the Jeff Jarretts.
If I had to rank all of the Jeff Jarretts,
I have them noted. I have them noted by the way that you ranked them. The best version of Jeff Jarrett, this is going from 5 down to, up to 1, is AEW's Jeff Jarrett.
Of course, yeah.
Second best would be 07 to 2010. Third is 05 to 06. Oh boy. Then it's Bullet Club, JJ, because remember that was a thing. Also GFW is in there. And then the worst one is this one.
Yeah,
by far,
like the original Double J.
Yeah,
but I don't think we ranked WCW 2000 Jeff Jarrett.
That doesn't even go on the list because that was
no. That one had multiple championships and was terrible. He was in a triple cage match.
I wrote here, this gear and this theme reminded me why we all hated Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah, like he is the most.
I'm a lot less forgiving than you guys with Jeff Jarrett. I have no time for him.
I have plenty of time for you. Come on, Anthony.
He can stay in AEW and do all the great stuff, and I appreciate that. I think it's great that he won that Texas Chainsaw Massacre belt. That's what he should be doing, right?
Anthony, he did the stroke,
he doesn't do a single goddamn thing for. I don't give a shit.
He has the stroke. He does the stroke.
He can stroke his way into a coffin, is what he can do.
Like, come on, bro. That's an amazing wrestler, man. But no, the crowd doesn't give a damn about this match, especially because at some point
they don't give a damn about Jeff Jarrett.
Well, no, but also Sting is walking up at the top, and it's funny. Me and Anthony were watching this match,
Jeff Farmer,
and we swore to God that was Jumping Jeff Farmer when he was walking out. They did the fake Sting thing.
Sting's face is so fat, and his hair is too short. That awful stage where it's like in between long and short. Where it's like, when AJ had the soccer mom hair, it's like that.
But
it's not a good look. So it just looked like Jeff Farmer.
Sting was walking around the rafters. The crowd just completely disengaged with the rest of this match. And at one point, Sting walks down to the ring.
I put that the ref is a full-on dullard.
Okay, so we're gonna get to that part. So, at some point, Jeff Jarrett gets the upper hand on Show. Show goes to hit a move. I think it was a big boot. I can't remember. On Jarrett, he ends up missing and goes to the outside. So the referee is checking on Show. Sting enters the ring, and this is when it clicked to me that this was Sting because he hits the Scorpion Death Drop on Jarrett. So the background of this is apparently Jarrett was talking heavy shit about Sting being in the NWO because he was doing a whole thing where nobody really knows what he was doing. So Jeff Jarrett was talking cash shit about Sting leading up to the show. So Sting hits Jarrett with the Scorpion Death Drop, and he doesn't leave immediately. He just stands there, and the referee gets done checking on Paul White. And he looks in the direction of Sting, but he doesn't look directly at him. Then he looks down at Jarrett, like Sting he doesn't know what's going on.
Like it's not like a peripheral vision situation. No, like he's like next to him.
And then how do you not hear Jarrett hit the mat though? What could Jarrett have done to hit the mat and be incapacitated?
Also, I'm pretty sure.
Well, that's a fair point, but still,
I kept trying to pull a fast one. Sting, what are you doing here, you scoundrel? Get out of the ring, you.
So So White doesn't get disqualified. He hits Jarrett with the nasty choke slam. 1, 2, 3. He gets the pin. This match goes 6 minutes. 1.5 stars. The choke slam was cool. The Scorpion Death Drop looked pretty. It was cool seeing Sting on the show because he would not show up for the rest of the night, which I get for the sake of what they were building towards with Sting, because at the time they were doing a whole storyline where nobody knew if Sting was joining the NWO or if he was Team WCW. The week before he handed Lex Luger a bat.
That was bad.
But that in particular was bad. The match to me was pointless. Another match that I think could have been left off the show and nobody would have cared. I think there was another way to get Sting on the show, in my opinion. And this kind of just like I
really just had him in the rafters. Just leave him in the rafters. I give it a quarter Jeff Farmer.
I gave this match a 1.5 out of 10, just because I thought it was, I guess, technically better than Nick Patrick and Chris Jericho. But other than that,
was it
whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you skipped over the match before Sting comes out because it's like literally every Big Show match you have ever seen.
Yep.
And it's just the first time he's doing it in '96. Mm-hmm. He's doing it a little crisper.
He's just doing it with long hair.
There's one point where Jarrett's trying to make a little bit of a comeback and he gets cut off and the brain says, as long as he's standing, and that popped me. It's pretty good. like Keenan is on all cylinders the entire night.
Keenan was fantastic all night.
Him and Dusty
the entire night.
The dynamic they had was great during this match. I loved every second.
Because trying to outwit each other.
I love me some Dusty Rhodes. He's hit or miss on commentary, but when he's with like two guys that can rein him in, like Shivani and Heenan can, like he's as electric as the other two.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up giving it
during the 1.5 stuff.
Yes, I ended up giving it 1.5 stars as well, but I had to separate the Sting stuff because the Sting stuff was cool, so I gave Sting 3.5 stars. Show and Jarrett get 1.5 stars.
Are too generous.
Jeez.
And this was only here to serve a story beat for the Sting story. So
6 minutes.
Jeez, any thoughts?
A couple of notes was one, this is peak Giant right here. This is what he should have been his whole career, or at least most of it. And then the other note that I wrote was Crow Sting was best character all time, second only to Steve Austin.
I like Crow Sting a lot.
I love Crow Sting.
I think if Steve Austin never wrestled, I think we would all say that Sting is the greatest character in wrestling history.
So I have a question for you, Cheese. It's a fellow TNA head. Does TNA Sting does Crow Sting extend out the TNA Sting, or is TNA Sting just Steve Borden?
It extends until The Dark Knight came out.
Yeah.
Fair point. Which Yeah. At some point, we're going to talk about Joker's
I don't even
thing.
think it extends that far out. I think it extends until that man starts wooing again in red face paint for the wolf pack.
That is the most Sting. That is Sting Prime right there.
That's not, but that's not Crow Sting at all. Like I
yeah,
think
but he does go back to
it
at some point.
That's like Surfer Sting,
still,
like bubbled to the
weird.
surface in Crow Sting. Like he couldn't contain his Surfer Sting anymore.
Sting is so weird. What? Oh.
But
I have.
And then my next note that I wrote for this was they got that table out hella fast.
Oh yeah, for the contract signing.
So yes. I'm going
to keep that one. I thought it was a coffin when I saw it.
So to start the segment,
I thought they were doing a fucking wake.
Oh well, somebody gets buried in the segment for sure. So,
Hogan's shoulder block into the butt cheek, or
so Roddy comes out. He gets a big pop because, of course, it's Roddy Piper. He gets a big pop. So he's in there talking. Can I narrate
this one based on my notes?
And I'm gonna let you go off in a second. I just want to set the stage real quick. So Roddy walks in there, he starts talking, he's talking about this contract that he has. And I'm not following anything that he's saying because he starts babbling. At this post 92, Roddy Piper is just he's incoherent, he's just stammering. Yeah, he's gone. So it was post, what was the name of that movie? Oh, Anthony watching clips from it.
It was post They Live, but it's also because They Live is 1987. But no, it's more like he's the character that he plays in It's Always Sunny. Oh, that's a terrible movie. But where he's just like a homeless crazy guy who, just says things, and that's what he is.
Yeah, he says a lot of things in this promo.
He is your uncle that every time you see him, you get a pop, and then he starts talking, and you're like, and
then you remember, you're racist and homophobic.
So it's like I have
double whammy.
Roddy comes out, I love Roddy, and then a few lines down is like Andy's being homophobic again.
Real quick aside, Jeff Jarrett has been unanimously voted into the George Tragos Luthez Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame class of 2026.
Breaking news from Cheeseman.
Wow.
Courtesy of Wrestling News Co.
Huh.
Cheeseman with the break.
He was the greatest NWA champion of all time. If you talk about his run from 03 to 2007 when they finally introduced the TNA Championship. I mean, Anthony, we've seen
Texas Chainsaw Massacre champion of all time.
Exactly. I mean, Anthony, we've seen such great matches like his King of the Mountain match that he had with R-Truth and AJ and all of those guys, man. He did such a great job of doing.
So, anyways, one of the notes that I put here is that I'm pretty sure Eric Bischoff likes to put his face over the toilet so he can smell his own shit. Because boy, oh boy, I hate him. I don't like Eric Bischoff. I don't find anything redeeming about it. He is terrible. He's a terrible, terrible human. He fucking sucks, and he just lucked into everything that he has.
So him.
I'm looking at him with that awful ass buzz cut on my TV screen right now, and the show's been all about him.
So him.
Fuck that guy.
Him, $1 Million Man, $1
Million the least worst one in this segment.
He was holding it together.
Yeah, he was on one during this
insane.
Segment. But $1 Million Man, Bischoff, and Virgil come out to the ring.
Oh, and which reminds me, the NWO is already too big.
Yep, at this point,
they're already too big.
Getting out of control.
3 months in, and they're too big.
It's a group of all the worst people you know, and Vincent, who's Virgil.
Yeah, Vincent. There we go. That was his name.
Former E guys. I get it, like the outsider thing, and then it's all former E guys and the Giant.
Mm. So Bischoff.
Oh, and Scott Norton? No, Scott Norton wasn't there.
Scott Norton wasn't in there yet. No, he was 97, I think. But because that's when they started expanding out to Japan. It was 97 or 98. I can't remember. But Bischoff starts talking, and Roddy cuts him off, and I'm not gonna say what he said on here, but he like everybody else has said, he just goes into this homophobic rant for 5 minutes, and I'm like, Hulk Hogan, please come out. I've never said that before in my life, but I said it during this promo. I'm like, Hulk Hogan, please get out here.
I need these guys to come out here and just I need your bullshit to level out his bullshit, please.
So
it's like when you're at Thanksgiving dinner and you're like, I need them to say food's ready, so Uncle so-and-so stops talking.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad this company died.
So Hulk Hogan ultimately, comes out.
I'm glad WCW died after this.
Hulk Hogan comes out, and it's not just Hulk Hogan, but it's also Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Six.
And the Giant.
And the Giant. Six, who looks like he does not want to be there anymore.
Like 20 people come out with Hogan. It's Hogan and 20 other dudes, and there's already 5 in the ring.
Yep. So Hulk Hogan starts cutting.
But also remember, Pac is on his way out, guys. Don't forget that.
He's getting ready to be in DX.
A few weeks, that man's about to be in DX.
But so at one point during Hulk's promo, they're talking about signing the contract. You know, they signed the contract. The match is official for the title at Starrcade 96. Hulk Hogan mentions Roddy's hip. And Roddy, he walks over and like Roddy just does not stop him at all. They just start bullying Roddy out of nowhere. They start ruffling his hair up. And then they pull up his kilt and show the side of his ass during the promo. And you see where he had surgery on his hip. And then they start beating his ass in the ring. And then Hulk Hogan shoulder tackles
too
his ass.
Yes.
And I'm like, what are we doing? What is this segment? He shoulder tackles his ass. Why did he shoulder tackle his ass? And then just jump him. And then they leave out of the ring. All of them leave after a while. And then Roddy just gets up and he starts yelling again. And then the segment ends. And the match is official. And I'm just like...
And then we get Harlem Heat versus Canadians.
I do love that Hogan could not be outdone in the words you cannot say anymore category. He had to call Piper 2 words for somebody who's I don't even know what to say. Like somebody who is disabled, I guess, in a way. He used 2 offensive terms you cannot use anymore. The C1 and the G1.
Yeah.
To one-up Roddy's word from earlier.
It was funny because during the recording, the taping, I think they ended up censoring what Roddy said, which made it even funnier because this was in 96. This was the footage, the tape from 96, and they ended up having to censor what he said. It was so bad. I'm like, oh man. And you seen Bischoff and DiBiase's faces whenever he said it, they were like
immediately.
Oh, yeah, we gotta get Hulk out here immediately. But we do get the Amazing French Canadians versus Harlem Heat in a tag team showcase match.
For me, was my match of the night.
The Amazing French Canadians, if you do not know, are the Mountie and PCO. They were a tag team in the WWE
Rhino
as well.
dressed like a road warrior. And the Mountie.
The Mountie
PCO looked like that.
AKA the Quebecers in WWF. PCO looks insane here. He looks like a bowling ball here. And he's never looked like that at any other point in his career. Like, I've watched other PCO stuff. Never looked like that. Like, he looks different. Then Harlem Heat comes out.
I have a question. Which one's Jacques Rougeau and which one's Carl Oulet? Because that's what I have written down.
So Carl is the bigger one and Jacques is the smaller one. The skinny
guy. And who are they with the PCO and the other terms?
Oh, so PCO is Oulet. Yeah.
Okay. We're on the same page now.
Mm-hmm.
So quick on Stevie's titties are as big and juicy as I've ever seen them ever.
Oh, he was off the juice here, big.
Like he was juicy.
Him and Book were off the juice here, but
yes.
Sherry comes out with Harlem Heat. She looks amazing here. Her and Stevie were killing me. They were over here talking shit in the camera over there, and she was doing great manager work. Colonel Rob Parker comes out with the Amazing French Canadians. He looks like a jackass. I don't know what he's wearing, but
his gimmick was Colonel Sanders. Essentially,
he was wearing some like revolutionary style military getup.
Yeah,
he was a colonel.
Egyptian colonizers.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, yeah. If you were a Mountie,
they are French Canadians.
Yeah.
You know. Not just regular Canadians.
One other thing that I pointed out about Harlem Heat, their attire looks this attire that they used at this time looks insane. Like the singlet and the ring in the middle of the singlet, and I'm like, what the fuck are they wearing?
Accentuate the titties.
They look crazy here. But this match was
at fullness, lift and separate.
Something for me. There was a lot going on during this match. So first of all, before the match starts, the Amazing French Canadian starts singing. Sounds absolutely horrible, but I loved it. It was great.
They're completely off beat with their own national anthem. Like they're way early.
But the match starts off with some good tag team stuff. We were going back and forth. At some point, Book hits a scissor kick, and I always have to remember when I go back and watch WCW that Book didn't use the scissor kick as a finisher, I think, until he got to the E in 02. Or in 01, when he came over during the Invasion storyline. Hits a scissors kick. Then the Amazing French Canadians hit a nasty double stun gun. I couldn't remember if it was on Booker or Stevie because the quality was so bad I couldn't tell the difference between the two of them. Then the Mountie gets, I believe, Stevie Ray into a Boston Crab, or it was Booker. I can't remember yet again. Bad quality. And then PCO gets up on the second rope and hits him with the leg drop to the back of the head. A nasty tag team move there. Then I believe at some point they somebody from Harlem Heat hits
yes. Let's talk about that spot already.
Before that, there was a nasty gorilla press into the Mountie.
Oh,
that was a good move.
Yeah.
Then the Amazing French Canadians. So,
well, wait. Be specific about that gorilla press. One man was gorilla pressed into another man's body.
Yeah.
Yes. Then like who was it? It was Stevie who grabbed.
Yeah, Stevie had I believe PCO up, the Mountie, and then he gorilla presses him into the Mountie. Yeah.
Yes. Which is just incredibly impressive.
Then Booker T and Stevie Ray get on top during the match. They have both of them in the corners, and I believe Booker T whipped the Mountie into the corner. He runs into the ref. Book's getting ready to hit a sidekick. Book ends up going over the top rope. Mountie dumps him over the top rope, and then they start jumping Stevie Ray. They hit Stevie Ray with a nasty assisted pile driver.
Yep.
And then this is when they go outside. They get the tables, and I'm thinking, they're about to put them through the tables. The referee's knocked out, and then they put the table.
Listen, it's not even a table. It's like a thing of wood, isn't it?
No, it was a table. It's a full table.
They just never unfolded.
He's never unfolded it. So they
put the table upside down. On the top of the rope, so like you've got the legs on the top.
Is that I could not tell. I'm like, this is the weirdest looking piece of wood I've ever seen.
They were cooking with what they designed right here. They have spent some time.
So please explain to me this. I understand putting the wood there. I understand putting the steps on the bottom of the wood. What about the steps on the top?
They sandwiched the table in between two sets of steps. So they put the other steps on top of the table. They have a set of steps underneath. So
commentary was confused.
So Carl Ouellet is up on top of the steps, on top of the top rope. And Jacques Rougeau is there below him, like guiding him, like lifting his arms up.
Flip.
And it was an assisted flip.
Or senton, or
Stevie gets out of the way, so Carl Ouellet just eats it.
So it was an assisted flip into a back bump, essentially.
Yeah, which had to fucking suck on that ring. God,
I'd never seen that setup before. I don't know if I've seen it since. That was awesome. It's so fun to see something new, weapons wise in wrestling. And like it was a setup for a flat back bump, like
something new from 1996.
It was still cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
At one point, Stevie Ray gets the upper hand after they missed the senton flip back bump, whatever the hell that was supposed to be. And then Book gets tagged in. He hits a Houston Hangover. Beautiful, one of my favorite finishers of all time. I know why Book stopped doing it, because of course that would ruin his back. It was crazy because yesterday doing Raw, AJ hit one, and I'm like, dude, you're 48 and you're about to fucking retire. What are you doing? But
which goes to my theory that everybody does a better leg drop than Hulk Hogan.
Oh, I mean, everybody does everything better than Hulk Hogan. What do you like? Come on, man.
Well, no, not
the X Bomber.
Well, oh yeah, I forgot about the X. Yeah. But
you know what
Harlem Heat ends up getting the win. And then after the match, apparently, and this is how it's listed on Wikipedia, Sensational Sherry
off, baby.
Gets in the
Dusty
ring.
yells in this match.
And she starts wailing on Colonel Parker. She starts hitting flying clotheslines. I think she hits a drop kick at some point. Then she does a crossbody off the top. I'm like, the crowd blows up for Sherry. And
Dusty was popping harder than anyone else.
Yeah, Dusty and Brain were over there popping.
Oh, I know, they loved it.
And I wrote a note about Sherry and just WCW in general and how they treated their women. That crowd yearned for a women's division in WCW. And they just wouldn't. They never would do it, or if they did, they half-assed it. And I just wish seeing Sherry in there doing her stuff was great. I wish WCW.
The crowd reaction was great too, because that accentuates the point that they wanted to see not just models matches. They wanted to see actual women's wrestling matches, and like watching Sherry just destroy Colonel Parker like that. They're like, yes, that give us that, please.
She's a worker, man.
On the first punch, they go, woo, the entire crowd. And like at some point, I got another Dusty line for y'all. He goes, rip his draws off, baby. As he's like trying to run away.
He hits the Lord have mercy at some point when Sherry and them were running in the back, and that one got me too.
Yes, he does.
But yeah, Dusty's great here during this whole thing. I give this match a 5.5 out of 10. I think it was decent. It kind of meandered a little bit in the middle there, but that finish was awesome. What they did with Sherry and Colonel Parker was awesome. It was a fun match. It was probably the match I had the most fun with. The opener's still my favorite so far in this show, but I gave that a 5.5 out of 10.
Forgot to rate it.
I gave it an A. It was my match of the night. I thoroughly enjoyed Harlem Heat during this time, and then that table chair spot to me was just too fun to just say, nah, this is getting an A for me.
Yeah, I gave it 4 stars as well. Like I like you were saying, Darrell, I still think I enjoyed the opener a little bit more, but this was still a great, like, just great tag match.
Well, Anthony, I'll ask you out of
whatever.
Gotcha. All right.
Out of what? What were you going to
measure? Maple Leaves.
Maple Leaves. Yeah, that's a good one. 3 out of 4, 3.5, 3 3/4 out of 5. We'll do that.
Gotcha. And then we get to I think they promote the hotline again at some point here. They got Mean Gene working during this show big time.
Yes, they did. It was a WCW 96 Christmas ad as well.
This was his most Scheme Gene right here. This was Scheme Gene Prime.
They did they had a fruitcake joke. I said here, what is Mean Gene's cut of the WCW hotline?
It had to. If he wasn't at least getting 60% of the cut from that, he was not getting enough money. At least
that man was making cash.
But we get to a Mean Gene TP segment, total package. Lex Luger.
Awesome.
I will say this.
So vascular.
I want to say this. I know Kaufman is a huge Lex Luger fan. I used to not be a huge Lex Luger fan. Me and Anthony have watched a lot of WCW over the last few months. I am a huge Lex Luger fan. He is awesome. He is great. No, was he a Matt Classic type worker? Hell no. But just the stuff that he was doing, he was a great promo. He had a great look, great presentation. He's just a fun guy to root for at that time. Now, we'll talk about after the fact. You get a whole nother discussion there, but no. Lex Luger was great.
Anyways, the Sting build is great, and he played a great role in this.
Oh yeah,
when he talk about the
I have a
note
like
here
that says I can't get invested in this because I know what happens.
Yeah,
and then I have ... Starcade 97.
Anthony, you didn't like that Hulk Hogan just wouldn't do the job,
brother.
Ever. Actually, this is before we get to our next match. I wanted to talk about Hulk Hogan at the time. I do too, Cheese, especially after I went back and watched it again. Hulk Hogan, my problem with Hulk Hogan and the NWO, it's hard for me to get hyped up about NWO stuff like a lot of other people do, because I know what ends up happening. But I think the biggest problem with the NWO and Hulk Hogan at the time was that Hulk Hogan never put anybody over. Hulk Hogan being this massive heel and being this big asshole and getting everybody against him with the whole NWO Hollywood thing, you would think that the end result would be that somebody, one of the younger guys, whether it been, I know DDP wasn't a younger guy, but he was over, or at least one of the WCW originals would take the company past the need for the old WWE guard and really go full into the WCW like mantle. And they never really did it. And it got so bad to the point that by the time 98 came around, Mankind winning the WWE Championship, the Stone Cold return on Raw that night, kind of just shot WWE past WCW, because everybody was like, why would I watch Golden Era WWE and WCW when I can just go watch the new WWE stuff?
Didn't think that was a good move?
No, it wasn't. But it's just so frustrating.
That does make an appearance tonight.
But this right here is smack dab during the 83 weeks or whatever, however many he keeps writing the podcast about. And like one of the big reasons is Lex Luger is genuinely one of the best baby faces of all time.
Yes, yeah.
WCW Luger is a top shelf baby face. And this promo right here, like, he just comes off so genuine, where he's like, this is my friend. I've trusted him my whole life. He's my best friend. And everything points to him being in the NWO. But when he gave me the bat, he turned his back on me and didn't do anything. So I don't know what to think about any of
what this. I love about this for Blex is just a year before he had done the whole tag team turn his back on Sting and attack Sting thing. Like just a year before. And I'm like, you were one of the four horsemen. You were actively trying to end your buddy's career. I love this. You fucking hypocrite. All of you babyface hypocrites.
But that was the beautiful thing about WCW before the NWO is, hey, they do a storyline, 3 months, hey, it's over. We're moving on to the next thing. Yep. And we don't linger on anything. It's just like this.
You got stuck for 83 weeks and you thought that was a good thing.
Well, that's the Bischoff playbook, baby. But moving on from that TP segment, we get Psychosis versus Dean Malenko for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Real quick. No. You're wrong, Darrell. For the Cruiser Heavyweight title.
Oh, yeah. Dusty calls it the Cruiser Heavyweight Championship during the match.
I missed that. And you're wrong about the competitors because it's Ted Bundy versus Psychosis.
Oh, yeah. You're right. At one point, he has a Ted Bundy haircut.
And don't forget, Darrell, this is where the big boys play, okay? I don't think Dusty says it
about 10 times during the match.
10 times during every match.
Dean Malenko, his theme song was insane here. I'm like, this is some Final Boss video game type theme music here. Just
I wrote it's like I'm playing a late 90s RTS or a launch PS3 title. That's what it sounds like. Dean Malenko's theme.
Which I like that a lot of music felt like it should have belonged in a video game. A lot of this stuff sounded like it.
Jimmy Hart could have made a killing being a video game music designer.
For sure, but he was too busy ball licking Hulk Hogan to do that. So, so the match starts off good limb work between both guys that were going back and forth. But I noticed this
ham hocks, buddy.
On the second part.
Ham hocks.
The crowd was really not into this match, and I don't know if it was because of the Sherry stuff was so hot. And the crowd was just coming down off of that. And usually, the cruiserweight stuff gets a big pop. But during this match, they were kind of...
Malenko was getting pops, but there was a lot of stuff that wasn't...
But it seemed like they were just more popping for moves than they were popping for the actual match, if you will. Like, everybody knows when Malenko hits the Tiger Bomb into the Cloverleaf, hey, it looks like the match is about to end. Which is, to me, one of the best finisher combos ever. I love Malenko's moveset. But here in this match, doing great limb work. Then Dean gets on top. He hits a nasty spinning leg hook during the match, leg lock during the match. They do some more chain work. Then Psychosis hits a spinning wheel kick. Then, and to me, this is when this match really started to go downhill. Psychosis does a dive to the outside and smacks the back of his head on the barricade.
Smacks his head.
And I'm like, oh yeah, this dude
like
the front of his head. The front of
it
his
was
head.
So
the back
funny.
of his head was later. Remember to even think that.
So he smacks his head on the. Oh, go ahead.
This is also when the crowd gets into this match.
When
Psychosis
it took an
concusses himself for the first time.
So of course Malenko gets the upper hand because I'm thinking Psychosis is out of it at this point. And then to make the CTE worse, Malenko gets in the ring and hits a rope assisted running leg drop from the middle rope, gets a 2 count. Then Malenko hits a nasty elevated half crab here during the match.
Oh, the half crab was insane because
he reaches back on it.
He wrenched it in.
It's like a lion tamer on only one leg.
Yeah, half lion tamer.
One leg lion tamer.
Then Dean does the tiger bomb into the clover leaf. That gets a pretty big pop. Psychosis is able to get to the ropes. Then at some point, Malenko hits a knee drop to Psychosis's knee, which was pretty nasty. Dean was just working over Psychosis for most of the match. This is another match where the champion comes in and they're very dominant over the babyface they're supposed to be facing. And then Dean whips Psychosis into the corner and he's getting ready to hit Psychosis with the monkey flip, but Psychosis reverses it, picks him up, dumps him over the rope. And at this time in 96, they had the stupid rule where if you threw somebody over the top rope, you got disqualified.
That was a Bill Watts thing.
Yeah.
And Bill Watts, when he came in the early 90s, changed up. So he did 2 things. He made that a disqualification, and then he got rid of all the mats around the ring.
Idiot.
As incentive to make sure you didn't do that. So,
the thing is, it happened several times earlier in the show, and they never mentioned
all the time.
And then this is the one time in the show where they're like, "Hey, wait, shouldn't the match have ended there?" And then Shivani goes, "No, because he mumbles something," and then they move on.
Yeah.
So off the monkey flip reversal, Malenko ends up hitting a Hurricane Rana, sends Psychosis out to the floor. Then Malenko hits Psychosis with a nasty pump handle backbreaker on the outside.
Other way around.
Oh wait, no, Psychosis hits. That was it. That
Malenko misses a baseball slide,
yes.
and then Psychosis takes over with that.
And then Psychosis
hits a corkscrew,
ding himself again
off the top rope.
He invents the whisper in the wind, and he also invents that spot where Jeff Hardy lands directly on the apron, but he does it with his head. He whispers in the wind and hits his head on the side of the ring.
This is when the match
so
really
he
starts
to even things out, like Dusty said.
Yeah. So then Psychosis somehow still has his bearings about him. Hits Malenko with the springboard leg drop. And then Psychosis hits Malenko with the Super Rana from the top rope. And then they were, I believe, Psychosis was about to get Malenko up for a suplex in the ring. Malenko reverses it, gets a 2 count off of a roll up. Then they do this great tombstone switch spot in the middle of the ring. I believe Malenko gets up Psychosis for a tombstone. Psychosis reverses it. He's about to go for one. And then Malenko reverses it, hits him with a tombstone, which is always funny watching WCW at this time because nobody ever went down to a tombstone. And I know the Undertaker used to watch that shit.
Stealing my spot.
Stewing. But
that's why I buried the entire company.
So Psychosis kicks out at 2. And then they end up doing this leapfrog spot where Psychosis leapfrogs over Malenko. Then Malenko looks like he's about to leapfrog over Psychosis, but then ties his legs up into Psychosis's body, hits him with the roll up. 1, 2, 3, he gets the pin. Then Malenko wins the match. I gave this match a 6.5 out of 10. I think there was some good limb work going on, some good grappling going on, but I do think that those spots where Psychosis hits his head were scary. And you could tell at some points where Psychosis was kind of stumbling around and missing his spots a little bit. So it made the match a little awkward. But all in all, I think it was a pretty decent match. Probably my 3rd favorite match on the card, but the 2nd best match on the card, if that makes sense for me personally.
3.5 Ted Bundys.
Yeah, I gave it 2.5 concussions out of 5. for Psychosis's work here today.
Gotcha.
Jeez. I'm gonna give it a solid 3. You're right in the middle.
And I didn't watch this match.
Gotcha. Well, that's your note on the match?
Not because we don't care about the competitors. I just didn't care. I was just like, that's fun. Like, okay, this match is going to take fucking forever. I don't care. Let's sit through it.
This is your skip.
This is plus 10 match. So the next match,
because I have a lot. I was wrong. I have a lot of notes on this next one, assuming it's the triple threat tag team match.
Yes. I have a lot.
I wish I would have skipped this one.
Oh, you didn't like this match?
Darrell and I enjoyed this thoroughly.
So here's my thing about this match.
Even though it has my least favorite fucking person in wrestling. And
we get the Outsiders, who were the WCW Tag Team Champions at the time, which are Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. They were going up against the Nasty Boys with Anthony's favorite wrestler, Knobs, and the Faces of Fear, which is Meng and the Barbarian, triangle tag team match. So the way that they did this, and I usually am not a fan of the way they do triple threat tag team matches. So they had 2 competitors in the ring, and you have 3 teams, and of course people have to tag in order to, the other team to get into the match, and stuff like that. And I'm usually not a fan of that dynamic, but I like the way that they set it up here with all of the constant tags in and out of the match. Mm-hmm. Hall and Nash were doing a great job of being assholes here. I noticed, and this made me chuckle audibly, is that opening brawl, they kindly got out of the ring and missed out on that. They wanted no parts of that at all. But
surprisingly, they worked more than I expected them to.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, this is before they started to tune. This is before Brett gets there and that Favorite Nations contract kicks in and they get that extra money off of Brett's contract, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I'm not fucking trying anymore.
There's no need to do anything anymore."
Yeah, but the Nasty Boys and it was weird because when the Nasty Boys got in the ring, they immediately attacked Hall and Nash, and it was like a New Jack style thing when they came in there and they beat their ass and their theme just kept playing, and I'm like, when in the hell is Meng and the Barbarian gonna get out there?
Their shitty ass theme. As soon as I heard that theme, I was like,
it played so long.
Minus 2 stars. Any match involving the Nasty Boys starts at negative 2 stars
for sure. But Nash and Hall were kind of on cruise control to start this match, but it throws me off later on.
It's called least amount of work, most amount of reward.
Exactly. But at one point, Meng and Barbarian at the beginning of the match, they start beating the shit out of Knobs. These boys start shooting. I'm like, what the fuck is this? They
all worked stiff this match. Like they worked as stiff as they could work.
Then at some point, Nash and Hall started tagging in, being assholes and fucking bugging the fucking Nasty Boys in the Faces of Fear, which I thought was great. Yet again, they started working stiff. Hall was doing good work in this match. Nash was doing good work in this match, which yet again is shocking. But at this point, they were still trying. Had a couple of breakdowns during the match. A lot of brawls that happened throughout this match. Nash hit the ropes, and this dude was sprinting. I'm like, damn, I ain't never seen this shit before. What is this?
On yet?
Yeah, he was hitting the ropes hard.
96 Nash is like he's a goat. Like that dude had so much.
Overall's 93.
So much. I know you're right. So much like force to all of his moves. Like we'll get to the sidewalk slam in a minute, but that's all I've been thinking about since I saw it.
The lariat that Nash hit was pretty good before the sidewalk slam. Then he hits the spinning sidewalk slam. Trademark Kevin Nash move. This is probably the best one I've ever seen him do, because by the time he got the TNA, which is my introduction to Nash, because that's when I started watching wrestling, it did not look great. But he looked like he was just killing his back, sidewalk slam by sidewalk slam. But Meng hits a nasty belly to belly on Scott Hall at some point during the match. Then Haku and Nash, they started shooting in the corner. They started wailing on each other at some point. Then Meng hits a pile driver during the match. I forgot to who. I think it was either to Knobs or what's the other one's name? Sags. But he hits a nasty pile driver.
And this is where I think it was Heenan goes, we've seen a lot of those tonight.
Hell of fucking pile drivers.
Yes, he did.
But Knobs and Haku.
Well, one point, is this the match where they kind of started commentary felt like it was shooting a little bit and talking about what they were just they sounded over things. Might have been during this match, but they did at some point.
Then there was a spot here that I thought was fun, and as soon as I seen the spot, I'm like, this is the New Day spot. I love this spot. So Haku and Knobs agreed to tag in the outsiders into the match. So of course, the whole dynamic is these dudes got to fight each other. Then they all leave the apron, so nobody can tag anybody in. And then Hall and Nash were like, well, what happens if we pin each other? So they pinned each other. Everybody comes in and breaks it up, which I thought was a fun spot.
It's a good spot.
Yeah. Then at some point, there's a lot of brawling going on. I think Hall was still the legal. I think at some point Nash is still a legal man, but Hall tagged somebody else in. I really didn't see there was a lot going on. They were still brawling on the outside.
There was no tag.
Okay,
they just pinned a non-legal man.
So at some point they do all the brawling, and Knobs gets into the ring, and Hall just gloms him with the title belt in the back of the head, and then Nash hits a nasty jackknife. 1, 2, 3, outsiders get the pin, they win the match. I had a lot of fun with this match just from the way they did all the tags, the constant tags and stuff like that. I think Hall and Nash did a great job of playing the heels in this match for sure. I was a fan of how stiff everybody was working. I gave this match a 7 out of 10. For me, it was fun. It was fun. You didn't have the greatest workers in that ring, but they did their best to make that match work. And Hall and Nash were doing great work during that match. Haku did great work during the match. Knobs and Sags didn't piss me off during the match at all. Barbarian was good here. I had fun with the match personally.
Sorry, I got distracted. I have a Nitro running on my screen, and it's the opposite of what we talked about, where it's the uninspired Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, because it's Wolfpack, and all I'm going to tell you is Scott Hall's coming to the ring flaunting a taser, so it's post that. I gave this 3.5 Tongans.
I gave this one an F. My notes are triple threat tag matches are stupid.
No, they're not.
They are.
Why are you having only 2 people? Why are you only having 2 people fight?
Monday Night Raw. This past Monday Night Raw showed me
Anthony, think about it though. You're
contradicting
all 3
yourself
in at the same because time. All 3 were in at the same time.
See,
that's why
I said triple threat tag team matches aren't dumb. It's just how you book them.
This match was already working from behind for me because this is my least favorite match type. The triple threat tag where there's only 2 people in. I know the rules get a bit wonky when you have all 3 in, because at that point, like, there's no DQs, so what's stopping everybody from coming in? WWE's solved the problem by not ever bringing that up. So
I think didn't they do it with they did it with Kurt and you know who, and Edge and Ray,
back like the SmackDown 6 era,
Survivor Series, but it was an 8-man.
Who's the other team in there?
Chavo, Eddie, Ray, and Edge.
Christian,
Edge and Ray, not Edge and Christian, Edge and Ray.
Edge and Ray, and then Benoit and Angle, and then someone else.
I thought it was just a triple threat tag team. Yeah, it was just a triple threat tag team.
Maybe it was just...
They did it elimination style though. Yeah.
But the way they did it here at World War III, like all these tags were pissing me off because I was trying to write down the action, and at one point,
that's why you never do that.
After Nash flattens Meng with a corner shoulder and a scoop slam, I wrote this note right here. It was at this point I decided to only write down what Meng and the Outsiders do from here on out. And I started to enjoy the match a lot more.
I think if the match was just between the Faces of Fear and the Outsiders, it would have been way better.
And like I gave it 2 2.25 stars, but it does involve the Nasty Boys, so that's an automatic -2, so it gets 1/4 of a star.
Fair.
The match.
For me, I had a lot of fun with the format of it and how everything went down, but I watching this in a vacuum, it was a cool match.
What the fuck am I watching right now? Hogan is dressed like somebody, like a Gen Zer.
I mean, Anthony, he was
got
down
a
with
beanie.
the
No. He's got a beanie.
down with the brothers and the sisters in the hood, man.
Glasses. Yes, he was. He's got Jenkos. He's got a flannel over the WC. What the fuck am I watching?
What's he wearing?
All right, let's get to the next match. This is
all right.
insane.
So the next match,
World War 3.
I do not know how to review this match at all. I like.
What was the name of that other? Okay, hey, real quick, guys. What was the name? Lee Marshall. Oh God, what did he yell? What did he fucking yell? Lee Marshall's on the ground.
Oh yeah,
my God.
Zbyszko. Yeah.
No,
I think I heard
Zbyszko that. Was incredible.
He yells, "Get out of the way, Lee!" Right before he gets decked.
Yes.
So this,
he didn't do anything to help him.
For the background of this match, if you don't know what World War III is, World War III is a 3-ring, 60-man battle royal. So of course, there's 20 people to each ring.
It looks like an M. Dickey game. If you ever played the Wrestling Empire, it looks like somebody set up one of those.
Well, also they separated. So imagine being a person in 1996 and popping on your CRT TV, and you're seeing a normal single screen, and then it splits further into 3 smaller screens, and you could already barely make out what you were seeing.
I'm on my 1080p screen, and
there
I can't
are 3
even see.
small screens. Exactly. I have a big screen. I couldn't tell what the fuck was going on.
And for the first 5 minutes of the match, they don't go to that triple box. You're just watching people fight in the crowd while stuff's going on in the rings. And you don't know any of it.
They have the triple screen going, but on each screen is not one of each of the rings.
No, it's just showing the Horsemen brawling with the Dungeon of Doom.
Yeah,
fucking first 5 minutes of the match.
Which I'm gonna be the one who brings it up, but because it is fucking weird to see Chris Benoit coming out bruised up with Nancy, and then the fucking Taskmaster, and then
the one who did it
because Benoit is one of the Horsemen.
Oh, and he got jumped in a bathroom before
he got jumped in a bathroom that Lee Marshall was excited to tell me about. Then Lee Marshall got himself knocked out, and that's just the beginning of the match. There's so much match left, and
no eliminations yet.
Nope.
No. And they it's almost like they at one point commentary brings that up, and it's almost like they themselves are like, can we hurry up with these eliminations, please?
Because the crowd is all in for it as soon as the bell rings. They're down for the hot hot start with the brawling in the crowd, and then it gets announced. All of the Horsemen and all of the Dungeons of Doom have been disqualified. That's your first eliminations. They never get in the rings. 2 of the factions gone.
Yep. Immediately out of the 60, you've lost 10.
Yep.
So now we're down to a 50-man battle royal.
Which you would think would make it way easier to keep track of, but no, it's just wrong. Because they don't know how to cover this match, because who in the hell would know how to cover this match?
I didn't even know Scott Steiner was in the match.
No. I didn't even see him during the entrances when they were doing the big entrance thing.
Neither did I. Can we talk about the entrance thing?
Yeah.
Where they just played one dun dun dun, like a bunch of drums, and then everybody came out just with a scroll of names coming down the screen essentially next to him, or flipping names.
Did not sync with the people who were coming out.
Matched. No, it started rolling before the guys started coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the best part about it. It's so janky.
There's guys there's a bunch of dudes I didn't recognize, and there's guys like Lord Steven Regal, La Parka, Mongo, Arn, Six, Jim Duggan, Big Ron Stud.
Big Pop. Note on that. Big John Stud had just died.
Yep. So he passed over the name because Big John Studd trained Big Ron Studd, and so he passed over the big name to Big Ron Studd, and I guess that was his whole thing when he was in WCW, was that he was the predecessor. He was the successor to the Big John Studd, who he gets a lot of attention during this match, obviously because he's fucking huge. So it's one of the only things you can see during this match.
I did find it wildly apropos and wildly WCW to have the first person officially eliminated was named Tony Rumble.
I love that because Darrell and I have a theory that they just were like, hey, we're just gonna throw out names. It doesn't even matter who they are.
That's so funny. There's a couple
we're gonna
times
assign you names, and it's Tony Rumble, and they're all like, who is it? That's Tony Rumble's gone. Somebody they all like lose their shit over it. And I'm like, who the fuck is Tony Rumble? Like, who is this guy? It's like it is fascinating when you're seeing that lineup of guys coming out, and I'm like, who's that guy? And that guy just looks like some normal dude in a singlet. Like
some dude that snuck in.
Yes, that's what it seems like. It seems like they just put the call out for indie talent day of.
So
there's like around after Tony Rumble's elimination, you get legends like Mike Enos getting eliminated.
And Scott Norton gets eliminated at some point. So
La Parka gets eliminated by Luger, but I'm just gonna trust them on that one. It was nowhere on the screen.
Oh yeah, because they said it, and I'm like, I didn't see La Parka since the entrance, but whatever y'all say. But so the way this match works is that once every ring has 10 wrestlers, everybody converges into the central ring. But
one ring,
which did not happen.
It did not happen. They just at some point they just left the rings. They just left the rings.
Trying to say that hey, they're moving. They were commentary was so confused.
This is the second year in a row they've done this, by the way. I just wanted to point that out.
Yes. And this time, okay,
they had time to work it out.
So the first time, what they did was when what it actually did worked the way it was supposed to, where both the second and third ring moved into the first ring, right? Mm-hmm. And what they do in that one is when that happens, as each ring is eliminated, essentially, so does the commentary team. They sign off and go away until it's like the prime of Tony and Bobby. But no. I disagree because I liked having all six fuckers just going off at the same time about whatever weird shit was going on around their little vicinity.
This is the one and only time that a commentary team above 3 people worked.
Yeah, because it matches the chaos of what was going on in the ring. Well, in the rings, if you will.
Also, all of the people on commentary were interesting to hear yell. Like, because a lot of them were yelling.
Especially fucking
Larry Legend was
Larry
yelling.
Zbyszko, man. He was on.
Larry Zbyszko starts on 10 and only gets higher. Somehow.
He's yelling like somebody's in the wall.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So,
Fantastic Marshall.
By the time they get to the last ring, you get this WCW NWO standoff, and for some reason, DDP was standing in the corner with the NWO, even though he wasn't associated with the NWO. Which, I guess at this time,
they were going to
he
try
was
and
still
give
making
him
his decision.
They were recruiting him.
Yeah, but a couple of people get eliminated. I believe Eddie gets eliminated at some point, and remember this Eddie elimination because it's important.
Eddie was feuding with
shoot, they made a point.
DDP.
They made a big point.
He was feuding with DDP.
DDP, yeah. Him and DDP were feuding.
So I think DDP eliminated Eddie in this match.
Yes.
Eddie does not leave ringside. So eventually DDP gets eliminated. So the only person and Regal gets eliminated.
He gets eliminated. DDP, the big babyface that they were like saying, hey, this dude won, was it, the Battle Bowl, that he might win this one, gets eliminated by Lord Steven Regal. I loved that.
also, what I love is
was on
Regal
his
going
team
into this
mere seconds ago.
Yeah.
And also Regal going into this was they made a point on commentary that he was the only like WCW superstar holding any kind of heavyweight title.
Yep.
Because all the NWO had everything else.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So after Regal gets eliminated, it's just Luger in the NWO, and this crowd.
You missed one. You missed one. That I wanted.
Wait, no, yeah. Okay.
Right after Eddie gets eliminated, Giant walks down Rey Mysterio to the corner.
Oh yes,
presses him up, and then removes one hand and has a fully grown human being up by one hand,
like a
baby, tosses him onto Eddie.
Yep.
He fucking
one-handed. A one-handed press.
This is why they put the title on the Giant when he first came in. He was doing stuff like this. Show. And this is why the Giant ultimately failed.
Because wait a minute.
He didn't realize at the time, like, what he should be doing.
About to say something that's gonna drive me crazy.
Anthony, you didn't like when Big Show took Ray on that stretcher and slammed him.
You mean I didn't love
the fucking?
Oh, I love that. But this is also the same guy who dressed in a diaper, who shit himself with burritos, who did the sumo wrestling.
He got tranquilized. Yeah.
He got no. That's
not his fault. Kurt did that.
That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. When Kurt Angle pulls out that tranquilizer gun and puts it together right there and then shoots him in the ass, beautiful.
But Luger gets a big 1v4 against the NWO. Huge pop here. And like Luger just starts going fucking ape shit. He fucking
Unfortunately, I saw the ending beforehand, so I felt really
Well, I mean, I knew what was gonna happen here. But Luger,
it had to happen because Stargate.
Yeah, Luger goes after Giant. He eliminates Six. Then he gets Giant up for a torture rack, but then with ease, Nash breaks it up.
Got him.
And then Nash and Luger end up on the outside. They're brawling, and I think Luger was getting ready to eliminate Nash, and then Giant comes in, throws the both of them over. He wins World War III. And the crowd just kind of dies from there because they're like.
And then he also does the typical classic Giant crazy laugh.
Like Luger enters this like Batman in the Arkham game state where he's just hitting triangle over and over again, countering everything. Like ducks Scott Hall. Yeah. Scott Hall goes for the tries to razor's edge him over the ropes, and Luger just flips him over. But then what Darrell was saying, he gets Nash up easily for the rack and is trying to rack him over the top, and Giant just comes and pushes both of them over.
One thing about WCW shows that's always funny though is after it ends, it just ends. It just ends.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah,
not
the match ends and then it ends.
You're not looking at everybody. You're not aura farming.
Also, we were watching ending credits roll at the end of a show. Thanks for coming in. Tune in next time. Here's our director and executive producer. Bye.
I love
they do that as they're on a time restraint, and it's
Robin Hood's on next.
Yep. Jeez, I love that you brought that up. I love how
Thank you for all new Ally McNeil. Bye.
I love how NWA WCW felt up until '97.
Okay. We saw a lot of this on their live stream for when they would show any of the Clash of Champions shows where the credits would roll as there were still things going on. Like Sting has Flair on his knees and he's about to beat him. Credits rolling, off to black. You don't see any of it. It's for the live crowd.
It's like the Heidi game that changed the way sports are broadcast when in the middle of I think it was an NFL playoff game. They cut to the movie Heidi, which was the next show on.
And then they came back and won.
And NFL fans called the station so much that they blew every circuit in the building. And of the police station in that same town.
Hey, damn, the fuck they call the police for?
They needed to see these 1960 Chicago Bears or whoever it was. I don't remember who was playing. The Packers were playing.
Please, if it was the Bears, that explains it. Fucking psychopaths.
Yeah. But I gave this match a 6.5 out of 10. And look, the only reason why I give it that is because of the ending with Luger. To me, the ending was great. I love the ending, but the rest of the match, I don't know what happened. I don't know what was going on. I could not follow. I was confused. I was lost. I was scared. I was just, but
there was no Meng to protect me.
Yeah,
I love
that ending with Luger.
No, Meng was there.
He gets disqualified in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, because he was outside brawling.
Disqualified too.
Yeah, because he's in the Dungeon of Doom.
Oh yeah, he isn't. See, I forget about who's in what faction.
Yeah, Faces of Fear, baby, come on,
that too.
Yeah. I gave it 1 3/4 stars, and that is all from the last 10 people in the ring. Everything before that is 0 stars. There's nothing happening.
Yeah, no.
There's no way to track what's going on.
I gave it 1.5 Lee Marshalls going down.
The only reason why I gave it a 6,
the commentary was great.
I only watched the last 5 minutes of this match. Like everything else, I was on my phone playing like a mobile game. I'm like, I'm not paying attention. There's too much going on.
I started doing laundry in the middle of this.
I was playing Baldur's Gate while doing it, and every time I would look to the screen, it was the same image of a bunch of people just milling about, and nothing happening.
Nobody eliminated.
Nobody eliminated.
I gave it a D-. I thought this whole thing is stupid. Now I watched this on my phone, mind you, so I didn't get a chance to watch it on big TV. But let's think about how big TVs were back in 1996 and 97. Even then, it's still like I have no. When you look at, if you watch this episode, I was like, I have no fucking clue what I am even looking at. There's 3 different screens on my one screen, and I have no idea. All I see is just legs ambling about and stuff, and I just skipped to the end.
It was a lot of limbs, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was too many limbs.
A lot of Dave Taylor hanging upside down, like on the ropes, like refusing to be.
And a lot of them.
I did love how they had 2-man commentary tables for each ring. I did think that was creative, and I did like that a lot. And also, all 6 of them were great. There wasn't somebody. It's like when they started talking, I'm like, guys, shut up. Like, no Mark Madden, no whoever the other guy was. In the later days, it's like.
We didn't mention it. Dusty calling him Iron Mike Tenay.
Yeah.
I've
always been a Mike Tenay fan myself, so every time I hear him talk, I'm like, yes, give me more.
I don't think we got a Tenay face, so that would have given it an extra.
No, but we did get a funny comment when he was like, "Commentators earning hazard pay today."
Yeah,
and it's just like here tonight.
But this was such a good idea in concept, and then you see the setup and you're like, oh, this was a bad idea. Like before the match starts.
I'm gonna be honest. I just think it is this, and this is always the case. This was just Kevin Sullivan and Eric Bischoff being petty. That's all it was. Mm-hmm. There is legit no reason for this match to exist other than to be fucking petty. And it fell flat on his face because being petty in wrestling never goes over well. It doesn't work.
We need our own battle royal. What's our signature match? War Games, the one with 2 rings. How can we one up the Rumble? 3 rings.
God, man. The 2 rings would have been fucking better if you do that. I mean, it still would have been stupid, but it would have been easier to track than 3. But I just, man, like that. Like, it's just... Both the ones that I've watched, none of them have been good. Which, if we would have picked 95, y'all would have been extremely pissed at the ending of that one for sure.
Well, no, yes, but it did have a really fun match with Sting and Flair, who managed to turn a singles match. Who in a singles match they used all 3 rings. Flair used all 3 rings, and it was fantastic. At one point, it felt like they reset 3 times, once for each ring, and it was really really cool because you didn't get to see any of that is a disappointing thing for this show, seeing people not take advantage of the other 2 rings because it's really cool. It's if you're gonna be weird with it.
Gary and Colonel Parker did.
Yes, they did.
Yes, they did.
Yes, they did. So real quick, it says that WCW President Eric Bischoff believed bigger was better when he created World War III.
In fact,
I think also there were a couple of the matches that took place in the center ring that the crowd was dead for because they couldn't see.
That might have been what happened with the Malenko fucking Psychosis match.
Was how every time they fall outside, there's a commentary table with their back to them. The whole time I'm just thinking, turn around, guys. You can see it right there.
They got the monitor, man. They don't
this.
The first time that shows up, they go like, what do we do?
You're like, hey, there's your backs to the camera. That's nice.
So.
I see, but that's what I love about this era. It's such a shit show of weird things that they're trying.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that on the other side too. Think about that. While we have this on the other side, you have Brawl for All. You've got some really weird shit going on.
Yeah,
even now they still do it.
career killing shit going on that
every
side.
Company tries the weird thing.
Mm-hmm.
I like these weird matches. I like the weird
Mountain.
Oh, hey, reverse battle royals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the more TNA, the more a match belongs in TNA, the more I love it in concept. But then I watch it and I'm like,
why did I do this?
TNA did not run back a triple cage match at any point in the mid 2000s.
What arena were they? Kurt Angle would have been in where they would have had enough room to run a triple cage.
You figure it out. Do it outside in the parking lot.
The third cage is like on the roof, and you got to go through the fire escape on the top.
Yes, like that. Kurt Angle, I love that. Kurt Angle doing a diving senton off the third cage onto the first cage onto somebody would be incredible, and he would have done it.
All you had to do was tell him, "Hey, you're gonna get to the top of the cage," and nothing would have had to have been said. It just would have been who was willing to take it at that point.
I would like to at some point watch that Jeff Jarrett triple cage match, just the match, because it's a match.
All right,
it's a match. It's not good.
We're gonna wrap it up here. Cheese and Chris, y'all are the only two that have not picked a show yet for us to watch. Mm-hmm. So I'm not gonna tell you unless you have one in mind. I'm gonna give it to Cheese this week. Unless you have a show in mind. Do you have a show in mind?
Survivor Series 2006.
Why that one?
It's the first thing I thought of.
Survivor Series.
I don't think anything else. I don't think there's anything special about it. It's just the first pay-per-view I thought of and the first year that came to mind. It's like one of those magic wheel games that you just spin and just lands on something. You just.
I'm shocked you didn't go with a TNA one at first. But
okay, let's do Glory Road 2010.
What's TNA's Royal Rumble equivalent?
The Reverse Royal Rumble.
They don't have one that's just structured.
It would just happen. Yeah, it would just happen on random shows.
Oh,
yeah. What were you about to say, Anthony?
So I pulled up this card. Let's see.
No, let's do Hardcore Justice. The first Hardcore Justice.
We can still do that, but I want to see this card now. Survivor Series 2006 is Team WWE Legends Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, Ron Simmons, and Sergeant Slaughter with Arn Anderson.
Oh no, we're watching that. No, we're fucking watching that.
No, yeah, we get to keep the Dusty.
No,
there is a second match.
Wait, okay, what's the second match?
It involves a Benoit, doesn't it?
It involves the Benoit.
We watched one with the Benoit today.
Well, I'm about to say we watched one with the Benoit today.
True. Chris Benoit defeats Chavo Guerrero with Vicky Guerrero by submission. Mickey James and Lita. Mickey James and Lita for the Women's Championship. They get 8 minutes. Team DX. So it's Shawn Michaels, Triple H, CM Punk, Jeff Hardy, and Matt Hardy defeated Team Rated RKO. Edge, Randy Orton.
Who was that guy?
Wait, Gregory Helms, Johnny Nitro, and Mike Knox with Kelly and Melina. Mr. Kennedy and The Undertaker in a first blood match.
Like, hey, who was that guy?
Wait, this is getting more interesting. Team Cena, which is Cena, Lashley, Kane, RVD, and Sabu, against Team Big Show, which is we're watching this one. It's Big Show, Finley, MVP, Test, and Umaga with Armando Estrada. And then the main event is Batista. Yeah, exactly. The main event is Batista and King Booker for the World Heavyweight Championship.
We're watching this show for sure. All right.
Guess what? Wait. Guess what, guys? Not one of these matches is longer than 15 minutes.
See, that's perfect.
Not one. The longest match is 13 minutes and 58 seconds. There's also a dark match where Carlito defeats Charlie Haas in 5 minutes.
Survivor Series 06. All right.
Oh, boy.
So that's going to be the next show that we review. But wrapping this one up, I'd like to thank everybody who took the time to listen to our official first episode of this podcast.
World War III.
I don't know what date I'm going to have it uploaded at this time, but whatever date that I have it uploaded at for this episode that's coming up will be the day that we upload every week this podcast. We may do extra content, if anybody feels like recording on any other day. But with that being said, thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all tune in to the next one. See y'all.
Tony Reali. I missed the